Controversy this morning over the government's decision to allow pharmacies to sell the so-called morning after pill to girls as young as 15 years old. Previous age limit was 17. The FDA also deciding that the emergency contraception known as Plan B no longer has to be kept behind the pharmacy counter. James Rosen live in Washington with more on those moves. James?
John, good morning. This decision comes just days before a ruling from a federal judge will take effect that removes all age restrictions on the selling of the so-called morning after pill to girls and women. The Food and Drug Administration says Plan B one step is, quote, safe and effective for over-the-counter use by females 15 and older. Now, the Center for Reproductive Rights, the group that sued when the age limit of 17 had been introduced, which lawsuit produced the judge's ruling with no age limits that's set to take effect on Monday. Well, they said this new FDA action doesn't go far enough because girls lacking the ID to prove they are 15 would not be able to obtain the morning after pill in time for it to work. Fox News caught up with Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius this morning at the Latino Coalition Small Business Summit at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce here in Washington. The FDA made the decision, and I supported it, was all that Sebelius would say to intrepid producer Nick Kalman. 2 years ago, it was Sebelius who overruled the FDA's decision to allow girls of any age to buy the pill over the counter. Now, as you might imagine, this new FDA decision and the approval of it by Secretary Sebelius already sparking heated debates, including right here on this channel.
I think this decision is really about removing obstacles and barriers for all women and making this over the counter. I think we have to applaud, actually, the FDA choosing science over politics.
It reads like the Constitution. There's so many, possibilities, probabilities, percentages. You're going to tell me a 15-year-old girl and who can even buy it and give it to a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old is going to understand all the potential side effects and what they should do after?
On a somewhat related note, the state of Florida, the legislature there has approved, and Republican Governor Rick Scott is poised to sign a bill that requires abortion providers in the state to give immediate medical care to newborns who survive botched abortions. John.
James Rosen in Washington for us. Thank you, James.